Now that we've submitted this form a couple of times, let's go ahead and take a look at how we can review the submissions. We might gloss over a few things in the process of going through the various options for viewing the web form submissions and sending web form submissions to specified emails, but that's just because in future videos we're going to go through them in detail. Jump back to the browser where you're logged in as an administrator, and on the Contact Us form, you noticed before that we had a new tab that web form added called Results. If we click on this, we'll see a list of the submissions that have been made to this form. So this one was submitted by us. It has the user information here, the date it was submitted, the IP address of who submitted it. This can be useful for blocking spam, for example, and the operations. We can view, edit, or delete each submission. So if we went ahead and viewed this, I'm going to click on View, we see a list of the data that was submitted. We have some information up top, which was the same information we saw on the list of submissions, and then each input along with the data that was added for the input. We can scroll down and view the whole item. From here, we can look at the rest of the submissions by using this navigation, Previous and Next. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. And here's another submission that was made. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Contact Us page by clicking on Contact Us in the breadcrumbs. And one other way that we'll probably need to send out data when this contact form is submitted is through email. So let's go ahead and click on this Web Form tab to edit the settings. And before we talked about there being 3 different tabs here, Form Components, Emails, and Form Settings. And emails is what we need to modify in order to make an emailable result set when the form gets submitted. So let's go ahead and click on this. This page allows us to create a number of email settings so we can send to various addresses with specific information from the form. So we don't need to send the entire form to everybody. We can simply pick and choose the fields that we want to send to a specific address. So let's go ahead and begin by adding one. We have 2 options here. We can select an address, or we can choose one of the components that the user fills out. So for example, if the user fills out an email in the Contact Us form, and we want to send them a copy of what they submitted, we could grab that by using the component value option here and selecting email. I'm going to go ahead and fill out an option for the address, and then I'm going to click Add. Okay, so we have our options listed again here. This is a custom to admin@magnificent.com. We can select some options for the header, and we'll go ahead and leave this at the default subject, email subject. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. We have the from address, and the default is the site email that was set when you installed Drupal initially. We're going to leave that at the default as well. The from name is the site name, which we set in the site informations page, and we're going to go ahead and leave that at a default as well. I'm going to scroll down. And then we have the email template, and this is the structure of the email that will get sent to the email that we specified above. There's a default template, but we can also customize this template by selecting Custom Template here. The idea of this is that we can then modify this template however we'd like. I'm just going to add in some content here. And if we wanted to switch back to the default template, it would ask us if we wanted to switch back our changes. If we clicked OK, it would turn it back to the default template, and we'd see our changes disappear. Now you might notice some of these tokens from when we were setting default values or had the option to set default values for web form inputs, and we're using those same tokens here again. There's a special token called email values here, and you can see what's available through this by clicking on this included email values collapsed field set. And here, if you read the text, it says that all of these that are checked will be included in this email values and output, and we can uncheck values if we don't want to send them. We can also specify specific values inside of our template by using this structure, email, and then brackets, and then the key of the input. Now remember, when we created the inputs for webform, we set a safe key, and so that's the key that we would use in order to reference if we were going to build it into our template here. Let's go ahead and leave this as default and just save it. I'm going to click Save Email Settings. Once this has been added, it adds a line to the list of email settings here, and we can add additional ones if we want to. So for example, if we want to send just the email address to our marketing person to add them to our newsletter, if the sign up for newsletter input is checked, then we can go ahead and add a new address here for the marketing director and send them just that email address. There's a few other things you can do with webform, but we'll cover those in later videos. For now, let's go ahead and jump back to the contact form on the browser where we're not logged in. One thing that would be nice to tweak on this page is that below the Contact Us title is this line that says published by admin and then the date. Now this isn't really important information for a page like this. It's more important for, say, a blog entry or a news article. And so it would be good to hide this. Plus, it doesn't show this information in the mockup. So let's try to line it up with what's in the mockup by hiding it. Go ahead and jump back to the browser where you're logged in as an administrator.